Today, we're going to journey back in time, letting these incredible ancient texts be our guide to explore a city that was described as, well, the greatest and grandest on Earth. It's a city of myth, of unbelievable splendor, and almost impossible perfection. This is the story of Ayodhya.
So, our story kicks off right here, in this land of legendary prosperity called Kosala. The Valmiki Ramayana sets the scene for us on the banks of the sacred Saryu River. And it was here, right in the heart of this thriving country, that the world-renowned city of Ayodhya was born.
But you see, this was no ordinary city, not by a long shot. Its very foundation is steeped in the divine, which sets it completely apart from any city built by mortals.
According to the texts, Ayodhya's origin story is really what makes it so special. It was established by Manu, the very first man in the Hindu tradition, basically the father of all humanity. This gives this city this almost holy status right from the get-go.
And its scale was, well, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. The city is described as being 12 yojanas long. Now, a yojana is an ancient unit of measurement, but scholars figure this is somewhere between 60 and 100 miles long. That is an absolutely massive, sprawling metropolis by any standard, ancient or modern.
And this enormous city wasn't just some chaotic sprawl. No, it was a masterpiece of urban planning, designed with such meticulous care. It had these distinct, well-laid-out avenues that structured the entire place, creating a landscape that was both perfectly logical and just breathtakingly beautiful.
So what was it actually like to be there? What would you see and hear? Well, the texts basically invite us on this immersive tour through the streets of what they call a perfect city.
Just try to imagine this. The main royal highway, the Rajamarga, which ran right through the heart of the city, was treated with just incredible care. Every single day, it was sprinkled with water to keep the dust down, and then scattered with fresh flowers, filling the air with this amazing fragrance. The city wasn't just wide, it was also tall. It was filled with these grand, multi-storied mansions that were literally said to touch the sky. I mean, can you imagine that skyline? Just so impressive and powerful. And we're not just talking about big stone buildings here. They were dripping with immense wealth. The descriptions say the city was literally studded with diamonds and gems, which made the whole place shine and sparkle with this unbelievable splendor.
And this prosperity, this wasn't just for the rich. It extended to every single person. The texts describe a city with zero poverty, where every citizen was wealthy and totally content. The granaries were always overflowing with food, and the water was said to be so pure it tasted as sweet as sugarcane juice.
But this city was so much more than just a paradise of wealth and beauty. It was an impregnable fortress, designed from the ground up to be completely unconquerable. To give you an idea of its military might, Ayodhya was protected by deep moats and towering walls, and its gates were armed with some seriously advanced weaponry. This included something called the Shatagini, a name that literally means 100 killer, a weapon said to be capable of taking out 100 enemy warriors in a single shot. Okay, so we've seen the city. It's beautiful, it's strong, it's rich. But what about the people who actually lived within these jewel-studded, impregnable walls? Well, the texts describe a society that was just as remarkable as the city itself. Now, this is maybe one of the most remarkable descriptions of all. According to Valmiki, knowledge wasn't just for a specific class or a specific group of people. It was universal. The texts are very clear. All men and all women were learned. And this detail about women is really emphasized. They weren't secluded or confined to their homes. No, they were educated, they were visible, they were active members of this advanced society. That's a really powerful statement about their status and their freedom. So all of this created a population that was just universally happy, righteous, and well-off. The people were described as being healthy, living these long lives, they adorned themselves well, and they had the bravery of lions. It was truly a city of both scholars and warriors. And who ruled over this city of perfect people? Well, that would be the great King Dasharatha, who presided over this kingdom with, as the texts say, both justice and love. It's pretty interesting to note a potential disconnect here with some popular depictions. While some later stories might paint Dasharatha as this weak or overly emotional figure, Valmiki's original text describes a visionary, a powerful destroyer of his enemies, and a scholar who got its strength from his people's support. In fact, he's given a special title,
Rajarshi. This isn't just a king, it's a king who is also a sage. And this fusion of power and wisdom, that was considered the absolute ideal form of leadership.
And this ideal, it trickled down to his entire government. His civil servants were described as being highly educated, super proficient, and valorous. But more than that, they actually felt ashamed to do anything unjust. They always spoke with a smile, and this is crucial. They applied the law equally to everyone, even their own kids. Nobody was above the law.
A perfect city, a perfect people, and a perfect king. It really seems like a world without a single flaw, doesn't it? But, as with all great stories, there is always an unseen shadow lurking somewhere.
And so, the picture is complete: an impregnable, wealthy, and righteous city, a kingdom where literally everyone is happy, healthy, and learned, a world ruled by a just and powerful sage king. Everything, by all accounts, was absolutely perfect.
Except for one thing. Deep within the heart of this perfect king, in his seemingly perfect world, there was a single, lurking discontent, a deep sorrow that cast a shadow over everything. So the question is, in a world of such complete perfection, what could possibly be wrong?